Alright, so here I am at the old abandoned Michter's Distillery. Had been the oldest distillery in the United States, and now unfortunately, due to neglect and lawsuits and whatever, it's in pretty bad disrepair. So today we're going to try to get some wood. We've got permission from the property owner to get some wood from the distillery here, and going to commemorate the distillery by making a couple of salvage dolls. Alright, so here we are at the old Michter's Distillery. These are the barrel storage areas, and this is all soon to be torn down because of the safety hazard and public nuisance. And I've been able to get some of the 4x4s that we use for barrel storage and a couple of chunks of larger beams. The owner of the property was gracious enough to allow me to salvage some of the wood before the demolition crew came in. Alright, so a bit of fond farewell to Michter's whiskey barrel storage house. There's my load of salvaged wood from Michter's, and in about 2 weeks this will all be demolished. What there is left of it. Alright, so here I am working on my first batch of Michter dolls. Here's one of the 4x4s from the barrel storage racks, and what I've done is I've taken those, cut it into 12-inch pieces, and the first step in making the dolls is to round it out. And you can see it's pretty amazing. Once we get through the weathered part of the wood, we have some pretty nice looking wood. Also, I'm taking some of the 2x4s, which are mostly oak. There's red oak, there's chestnut oak, I think I even added some birch. But I'm running these through the planer so that we can get the weathered wood off. And again, you can see it's pretty amazing how well that wood holds up over time, and really very nice wood inside. So we'll keep working away and make some Michter's dolls. Alright, so the next step after getting the blanks made and getting the wood cut up was to turn the doll bodies on the lathe. You can see some of them turned out nice and clear. Others have a lot of imperfections. There's the holes where the bolts went through on the whiskey barrel racks, and it had a little bit of beetle damage, but it kind of adds character to it. And then we got the legs turned and made a little whiskey jug after the Michter's jugs to look like a Michter's jug. So that was the next step. So here we are back at Michter's about 2 months after I picked up the wood. The original building, the main distillery building, is still there, but as you can see, they've taken the barrel warehouses and they've been flattened, so they really cleaned this up a lot. And this is the areas where I got the wood from to make the dolls, so I guess that wood is definitely gone. Alright, so we've got all the legs, the shoes, the hands, and the jugs, and all the bodies are all cut out, and we have the holes drilled for the articulating them. And then we'll be working on making the hats. Alright, so we've got them all assembled, and next is building the stand, getting them positioned, and then making the hats. The Michter's dolls. Looking a little rough right now, but they'll be fine. So the hats are made up of the 4x4s. These happen to be locust. And then I found a beam at the distillery there that was a little bigger for the base of the hat, and that turned out to be ash. So the hats that I'm turning in, the top half is locust, and the brim is ash. Alright, so the hats are pretty much made. Now I just have to cut them off and then sand the top, and we'll be ready to get the hats fitted to the dolls. So it's been 3 months and a little bit since I got the wood at Michter's Distillery, and finally we've got the 7 dolls all made, and soon they're going to be posted on my website for sale. That's salvagedolls.com. So each doll comes with a little copper plaque. Salvage Dolls each doll has a actual jug. Got most of these from eBay, and they all have a little wooden jug with the XXX whiskey mark, and from the looks of his eyes it looks like he's been drinking a little bit. And each one has a detachable hat. The hats are held on with magnets, and they each come with a little booklet also that indicates a little story about where the dolls came from, and then a picture history of the steps involved in making it. So, Michter's dolls, for all you Michter's collectors out there, this might be a nice thing to add to your collection.